Let's see. Can you hear me? I hope so. I am so excited to be on here today and to support you all. I think that we all need that support. And so I think it's very nurturing and uplifting to hear this really important message that I'm going to share with you all today. It truly can be life-changing. And we all need that, right? Especially now, especially now. Good, I'm getting messages here that you guys can hear me. Yay! Sometimes that alone on technology is a real miracle. So anyway, I am thrilled to have you all with me today. And I want you all to get onto the chat. And let's see, I want to share with you on how exactly to do this. From my tech team has given me this instructions. This is definitely not my forte. My forte is business and all things business. And today it's all about pivoting and scaling, pivoting and scaling. So for the best way is for you to interact with us throughout this entire webinar live stream. My CEO mentoring team is live on the chat to answer questions. I will be reading questions as well. And let's see. To join the chat, you have to, the chat box is next to the video. I'm just reading this, or could be right below the smaller screen. And the easiest way to do this, to get on the chat, is to sign in through Facebook. And then once you're signed in, you can pop out the chat to a separate window. So you can move it up or to the side of the video here. And then you just click on the little open box with the arrow on the bottom right corner to do the chat. So anyway, you guys hear me? Are we good? Can you just give me a yes? And I would love for you guys to say hello on the chat and tell me where you're listening in from today. And also, what is your business? I would love to know what kind of businesses, what kind of business owners that we have on here today. So go ahead and put in the chat where you're from, where are you listening in from today on this webinar, and also what is your business? So I'm just trying to get on the chat. So we're good here. All right, so I think there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, there we go. You guys do hear me. We've got Houston, we've got New York, we've got California, and I am coming to you right now from my home in San Diego, and just excited to go ahead and dive in with you. So are you ready? Are you guys ready? Fantastic. We've got a branding company from San Francisco. Oh man, you guys it's coming up fast here. We've got Ohio, employee communications. We've got from South Africa. Oh my goodness, wonderful. And you've got a multimedia design agency. So the time is now for entrepreneurs. This is a time for opportunity, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and have my good friend, Tom Ballou from Impact Theory introduce me here. So 1 second, and I'm going to share my screen and we are going to get started. Oops, hold on, did that wrong.
All right, Entrepreneur Magazine called today's guest an entrepreneurial force. She started building companies when she was just 19 and now already has 10 successful companies under her belt. Proving her brand of success can be replicated, she's built businesses around her passions across a stunningly diverse array of industries, including the beauty space, homeopathy, education, software, and jewelry manufacturing. The key to her success? She knows business. Realizing that there just weren't enough hours in the day to solve every problem through brute force, she dedicated herself to understanding the mechanisms that underlie any successful business. These insights allowed her not only to build her own mind-blowing string of winning companies, but it also turned her into one of the most potent executors and advisors on the planet. Through her different endeavors, she has serviced or guided some of the largest companies in the world, including Fortune 500 behemoths such as Allstate, Merrill Lynch, Ben & Jerry's, Supercuts, and many, many more. Her more than 3 decades worth of experience in scaling companies has seen her covered by virtually every credible news outlet there is. She's been featured by Forbes, Success, NBC, CBS, and CNN to name but a few, and Self-Made magazine recently named her one of the top women entrepreneurs who inspire. So please, help me in welcoming the best-selling author of Blast Off and Scale or Fail, the trapeze artist with nearly 20 years of high-flying experience, the business whisperer herself, Allison Maslin. How you doing?
Let's see. Can you hear me? All right, let's get this right here. Hold on a minute. Here today, and hold on a second. You all, I think that we all need that support. And so I think it's very nurturing and uplifting to hear. All right, do you guys hear me now? I just want to make sure you can hear me. Need that, right? Especially now, because I'm not able to get to the share button right now. I'm not sure what happened. Can you guys hear me now? So anyway, I am thrilled to have you all with me today. And you hear? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Let's get started. We're going to talk about how to thrive during upheaval in scale in any economy. All right. So my good friend, Barbara Corcoran, who endorsed my book, Scale or Fail, she always says that you never take no for an answer. And for right now, everything that's going on in the world, it's very easy to feel like you've hit a wall and that there is no other option, right? If you were to be listening to the news, getting caught up in your Facebook feed of all the doom and gloom, it's very easy to get dejected and think that there is no way out. But as an entrepreneur, you have to have the mindset of never taking no from an answer for an answer. And then once you're signed in, you can pop. So the video behind me is running. Let's see. Hear the intro in the background. I'm not sure why that's happening. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Let's see. This should not be running. Hear me? Are we good? Can you just give me a yes? And I would love for you guys to say hello on the chat. On this webinar, and also what is your business? So I'm just trying to get on the chat. So we're good here. All right. So I think there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, there we go. You guys do hear me. We've got Houston, we've got New York, we've got California. All right. Do you guys hear me now? Is that better? Do you hear me now? My gosh. Okay. Hang on. The audio is on. So hold on one second. Hold on, guys. Do you hear now? You hear me? We're good? Okay. Okay, we're good? Oh my gosh. Come on, universe. All right, we are good now. Let's get going. Okay, let's scale. It's time to pivot. Let's make this happen. All right, scaling is when you get to a certain level in your business and you hit a bandwidth and there's no more room, there's no more time, there's no more energy. You have to replicate you. You have to replicate your offering, your product, your service so that it goes beyond you. Okay? So I want to give you an example of this. And today I'm going to give you all kinds of great solutions and content today. You're going to be so happy that you've joined us. And so you guys ready now? Now we're all good. So Ellen Latham is the founder of Orange Theory. Any of you fans of Orange Theory? Well, Ellen, as you can see on the screen here, she spoke at my event, and we lead a couple really big events every year. And so Ellen was sharing her story about how she scaled Orange Theory. Well, the cool story about Ellen, talking about pivots, okay, she lost her job at a spa that she had worked at for years. She got fired. And she was a single mom. And she was like in a panic going, what can I do? Now, Ellen had never had a business before. And she just decided, you know what? I'm going to do my own gym. And so she just got a little place in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and she started running this place herself. She created an exercise program and people were loving it. And a woman came in one day that was one of the members and said, Ellen, you need to franchise this. And she said, I couldn't do that. I don't know anything about franchising. Like, that's beyond me. And so the lady left, okay? The lady came back next week and said, Ellen, I am telling you, you need to franchise this. And so Ellen, for that moment, said, I'm going to stop saying yes, but. I'm going to get out of my own way, all right? And so as I share these things with you today, as we're talking about pivoting, I need for you to stop with the yes, buts, because I know there's a lot of them going on right now. Yes, that could work for them, but not work for me. And if Ellen had done that, if she had gotten sucked into that story, she would not have almost 1,500 franchises around the world, okay? And she did this in her late 50s, now 60s, all right? So it is never too late to pivot and scale. So that is scaling. What is pivoting? Well, let me give you a perfect example. So Ellen, I just saw this yesterday on my Instagram because now they have closed the local Orange Theories temporarily as we're going through this. And now they are doing online at-home workouts. They pivoted quickly. All right. So when you do a pivot is not something that you think about and, oh, I'm going to meditate on. No, a pivot is something That means that you make a rapid shift. It means that you become strategic. So they didn't wait around, and they got this up and going to take care of their members and not lose their market share. Okay. So that is an example of a scale and a pivot. So I'm going to give you lots more of that, and we're going to show you how to do it. Now I'm showing you here, this is my team at Pinnacle Global Network. So my 10th company now that I run is called Pinnacle Global Network, and we are a community of business owners that are all over the world, all over the country. And we have business owners that we mentor to grow and scale their business. So our mentors are CEOs that have scaled multi-million-dollar companies. Some of them have had thousands of employees. So they have been through the trenches. And for me, being a business owner over 35 years, I assure you, there have been many walls. There have been many down economies. There have been many rugs pulled out from under us where we have had to pivot. But the cool thing is that our team is right there with our clients and in huddles with them right now, helping them to pivot. And I'm going to share with you later on how we can support you as well, right there, holding your hand in your business. This is a critical time. So upheaval, challenges, down economies, they are not your enemy, okay? There will be many people that say this is a terrible time and it is, there's no opportunities and, you might as well just close down your business. And I will tell you that those of you that shift from the fear to being the strategic CEO are the ones that are going to thrive. And let me tell you what, everybody out there needs you right now. This isn't just about businesses profiting. Now, businesses have to make a good profit. They have to thrive. But I will tell you what, we need to get you all profiting and thriving, because that means that you are putting your product and services out to people that need you. This is what drives our economy, right? So just because you can't deliver your product or service a certain way right now, I assure you there is a way to pivot and get creative and get out there and help people and grow your business at the same time. So Kendra Scott, any of you Kendra Scott fans, please put in the chat if you are a Kendra Scott fan. I love her jewelry. So Kendra spoke at my event also, and she shared her story of how she went bankrupt with her first business, which was a hat store in Austin. And then she decided to get into the jewelry designing business. And when she decided to go all in and go into retail, everybody was closing their doors. Okay, this was 2009. At just the heart of the recession. And she said, I'm going all in. She mortgaged her house. She ran up her credit card. She opened for her first retail store. But she used innovation, because you have to stand out from everybody in your industry. And I'll tell you what, when we get to the other side of this, which we will, and it's going to be shorter than you think, those of you that are innovative right now and are capitalizing on the opportunities, you're the ones that are going to really thrive on the other end of this. And that's what Kendra did. And now her company is valued at more than $1 billion. Did you hear me? $1 billion. And she had zero when she started. So when you are facing these kinds of uncertain times. And let me tell you, there will be uncertain times beyond this. We have AI that is coming that could be disrupting many business owners, but there are opportunities, but you've got to be thinking ahead and being willing to pivot on a dime. So you have two choices. You can let your emotions take you over, right? And overpower you. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to dive in and I am going to look for opportunities. I'm not going to do business as usual, and I'm going to pivot. I am going to look for the clues of expansion. You've got to right now shift from worry to being the strategic CEO, because there are so many opportunities out there. Let me tell you. All right. Like in our Pinnacle Global Network Mastermind, they are hustling and they are making things happen. We have Lisa Miller, who runs Koi Zen Winery right here in San Diego, and their winery has been closed, but they are doing virtual happy hours, wine deliveries, okay? And then we have another client that has a garden center in Spokane, Washington. And she is pivoting, and she is, since people are stuck at home, they are delivering gardens. So flowers, plants, garden utensils, soil, everything you need to do your garden parties virtually. It really is the most fun time for creativity. Now, to pivot, you have got to really address 3 areas in your business. The first is your revenue streams, marketing, and sales. This is all about cash flow, okay? This is one area that we're going to talk about today. The next area, number 2, is your success and money mindset. That is probably the most critical right now. And what I will tell you is that you've got to stop watching the news, people. All right, you can be aware, but you don't need to be drowning with the news, because it is plugging in all this fear into your unconscious. And our brains are wired for fight or flight. And it is going to be triggering that fight or flight response. And you need your creativity right now. You need to be in a state of abundance. There is so much abundance in the universe. Look outside. It's beautiful out there, right? There's so much wealth out there. But if you keep getting sucked into the news and the Facebook comments and all of that and getting dragged into their story, how are you going to have that clear mind and that creative mind to act fast? So your success mindset is key. And then the third component is your team and your leadership, right? It's the people around you that you surround yourself with, and it's you being that leader and leading your team, right, from inspiration and motivation. And because your team might have a lot of fear right now. And so it's important as leaders, it is our responsibility to lift others up. And that is why I am here with you all today, because this is, I feel, my responsibility. This is where I can do my best work to get on and help you all not only navigate through this, but to thrive through this. So I would love for you all to put in the chat right now, are you resonating with this? And share anything that I say in the chat that really strikes you. Is it something about turning on the news? Is it something about stepping up and helping others step up in their leadership? So quick story with you for you. Marshall Doyle, he is one of our members in Pinnacle Global Network. And Marshall came to our Scale event, which is going to be happening several months from now. And I'll share this with you all. And when Marshall started working with us, he was so overwhelmed. He was doing everything in his business, and he had lots of employees, but he was not really being the leader in his business. He was the worker bee or the doer. So as you all are working on pivoting in your businesses right now, having to shift, you've got to delegate. You've got to get that support around you so that you can shine. And we went in and helped Marshall do all of this to step back in his business. Now he only needs to work 2 days a week. And he has grown his business by $3 million. Okay. So this is what can happen this is what can happen in your businesses when you pivot and you scale. So now let me share another great story with you. This is another great scale story, and I'm going to share a lot of stories with you today. And the reason I'm doing this is so that it can ignite some creativity within you, so you can go, oh my God, I can do that. All right. And I will say this, that I believe in you. I believe in you. So just looking at the chat here, you get that, shifting into being a strategic CEO. Yes, stop the news and get creative. Hi, Mary. And regroup, innovate, motivate, take charge. Awesome. Love it. So Kara Golden is a dear friend of mine, and she is also the founder of Hint Incorporated, and they make Hint water. So how many of you are big fans of Hint water? We love Hint water. And so when Kara started this business, she had never run a company before. She had been in the corporate world, and she was started because she wasn't feeling super healthy. And so she started drinking water and just putting fruit into it and loving it. And then her neighbors were loving it. And so she was sharing it with the neighbors. And then she said, you know what? I'm really on to something here. And she goes to Whole Foods, find out they don't have anything that's just fruit and water. So she ends up deciding she's going to start this company. And the funny story is that she was pregnant at the time. And when her water broke, was exactly the time that her shipment came in for her first shipment of Hint water. And she told her husband, I have to stop at Whole Foods on the way to the hospital to see this. She was basically having 2 babies at once. So those of you that are entrepreneurs, you totally get what I'm talking about. So what happened was that Kara was trying to compete with the big boys, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, millions of dollars for shelf space, okay? And so then they were selling on Amazon. Well, the thing with Amazon is that she couldn't get any data to really understand who her customer was. And so she said, you know what? We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot. We're going to go online. We're going to do a subscription program for Hint water. And we're going to sell Hint direct to the consumer. No beverage company had ever done this before. And now it is 40% of their revenue. Okay. You don't need to do what everybody else is doing. Okay. So this is critical. And they just did a Super Bowl commercial. And I mean, they are really growing. Another example, and I think my friend and client in Pinnacle Global Network, Gila Kurtz, is on I think that Gila, if you're here, say hi in the chat. I wanted to use this as an example because they have a perfect illustration of how to pivot and scale. So Dog is Good, you got to check them out, dogisgood.com. And they are lifestyle brand company for people that love dogs. Me being one, I have a golden retriever puppy named Winston and a English bulldog who's about to turn 13, Daisy. And I would have them here with me right now, but I wouldn't really be able to focus. So anyway, and so when Gila and John had come to us, they were pretty big in retail. And they are big in retail. They're in a lot of retail stores across the country. But there's a really small margin in retail. For those of you that are wholesale to resale, you know what I'm talking about. So we said, okay, we've got to find other ways that you can create bigger margins. And so we did direct to consumer online. Next thing was another revenue stream, licensing. So people that want to launch a product for pet lovers and they use the Dog is Good brand. Giving you a good plug here, Gila. And then we said, okay, what else could we do? So now they've got a subscription program for the retailers so that it is an automated program for the products for the stores. And why is this good? Because it helps them to project what revenue is going to be coming in. And then the last one that they have done, which has been the most popular, is what they call their exhibitor program. And this is where the people that are fans of their product line are now setting up shops all over the country of their own Dog is Good pop-up shops, okay? Now, and that has totally taken off because basically it's her community sharing her community. It is her community, your community becomes your sales force. So right now, because of what is going on and they're not able to get out there, their exhibitors are now doing digital pop-up shops, okay? Now, this is a temporary situation and soon everybody will be back out there, but these are some examples of pivoting. Now, most product companies just go to retail, or maybe they also do consumer direct to consumer. But to do subscription programs and exhibitor programs and licensing, I really challenge you all to start thinking outside of the box, okay? So the real entrepreneurs are going to be building companies regardless of the markets, regardless of personal challenges or external forces. You only have one state, and that state is to create. And when you tap into your imagination and your creativity, you elevate your life force. When you bring something into being, and I'm getting a little woo-woo here, when you bring life into being, you are creating new life energy around you. And that's why people get excited when you create things. They have shown that people live well into their hundreds, and the secret to these centenarians is that they have passion and they have creativity. And you all have this abound if you stay out of the fear. Now, just a little bit on how I kind of came into being into this entrepreneurial world. I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family, and my father built the largest chain of women's clothing stores in the United States, starting in 1955 with my grandfather to the early 80s. And they started a store called Maslin's in Kansas City. And started a store called Maslin's in Kansas City. And then the second store, they actually won in a poker game. So, and then it took off from there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I was born. So I had this entrepreneurial influence around me. And so I started my first business when I was 19 years old. And so I was doing personalized poems for birthdays and anniversaries. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, I found my calling. I'm going to be a poet. And he's like, honey, that's great and all, but poets really don't make money until they're dead. And I'm like, Dad, you are such a buzzkill. And so I said, I'm going to go and do it. Well, anyway, people said, Allison, I don't really want your poems, but do you do brochures? Do you do television? Do you do radio? And I didn't know how to do any of these things. And I share this story with you because don't feel like you have to have it all figured out. You don't, all right? I didn't know what I was doing, but I would hear my dad's voice in my ear say, if someone asks you to do something and you think it's worthwhile, just say yes and then figure it out. And so by the time I was 25, I had a full service agency with clients like Ben and Jerry's and Supercuts and Allstate and Charlotte Russe. And I was making a lot of money, all right? The thing is that I didn't really understand how to scale a business. And at that time, even though I had a little bit of help, I didn't know how to delegate. I was a control freak, right? And I think for all of you, you have to be really careful right now in what is going on in the world to, out of fear, start letting people go and jumping in and doing all the work that they've been doing for you, okay? Because you need to stay in the place of creativity, building relationships, making connections, and being out there. Well, I didn't understand this at the time, and this was me. So tell me in the chat if you all relate to this. Tell me if this picture, if this feels like you right now, all right? Because that was me. And I felt overwhelmed, depressed. I didn't know what to do. And well, the universe decided for me, because that's what it will end up doing if you don't make the decision. And I ended up having a terrible car accident, okay? And that was my wake-up call. And I said, I'm only going to do this if I'm 100% passionate about it. Everything I do moving forward, I have to love, and I have to be making a difference. So I walked away from that very lucrative business. I took time off and I really studied what was I doing right and what was I doing wrong, right? And I built a formula to scale my business and went on to build 9 more very successful companies from there. And now I get to pay it forward and share this formula with you. Now, what I'm sharing with you is generally what I have been sharing with our private clients over the last decade. But now I'm opening up the door to you all because I just want to get this information out there so that you all can start flourishing again. And the truth is that it is not about hard work. It is about creative strategy. It is all about creativity right now, okay? But I know that it can feel overwhelming, that there's so many different decisions that you've got to make right now. And this is where business owners get stuck. And it's critical that you are not getting caught up and working on things that are not your top line revenue right now. So you may have many things that you offer, but right now, I only want you to focus on the top 20% of activities that are going to bring you the biggest return, okay? The top line products, the top line use of your time, okay? And this is where you might have to be dropping some products right now and just focus on what is going to be making a difference for other people and what is going to bring you the most profits at this moment. You've got to capitalize quickly. Time is of the essence on loopholes, on new markets, and new revenue ideas. Let's see here. I just want to make sure that I'm getting here. Let's see. It's saying, I just want to make sure I'm getting some text over here that some people were having problems getting on. So I just want to make sure that that we don't have an issue there. So team, if you are seeing that and there needs to be an adjustment so more people can get on, then if you could do that. Okay. All right. So See what I talk about, delegating the team so that I can focus on what I do best. All right. So here's a great example. In the last recession of 2009, Lego grew by 63%. And during the recession, Legos, all right? And so this was their highest level of profitability. And what did they do? They said, okay, you know, recession is hitting us hard here. What are some other territories that we can go to and start really marketing? And so at the time, they went into Singapore, they went into Asia, they went into other markets that were doing better. Okay. And their profits went up 63%. Why is this important? So your market that you normally target to may not be the market that you need to target right now or moving forward. So you have to be flexible. When there is uncertainty, when there is a down economy, when there are external forces, you have to be willing to be like Gumby and go with the flow. And you've got to look for those pockets, because I assure you, there are people in areas out there that are thriving and that will invest in what you are offering. Okay. It is so important to scrutinize the changing needs of your customers. Now, right now, your customers may have different needs. So you need to pivot to that. So for instance, in our Pinnacle Global Network, we have been adding, we give so much support, but now we're getting on with them almost every day because there's so many things that are changing, you know, on a daily basis. So we pivoted, we did an abundance happy hour yesterday, and it was wonderful. And then we're doing tomorrow a pivot call. And so you have to really tune into what is going on and pivot with the market. You've also got to find ways to reinvent yourself and improve on your offering. Okay, so let me give you an example of this. And so Domino's Pizza. So this is such a great story. So Domino's Pizza came on around 2009, and they said, well, let me back up a second. So Domino's Pizza, what are they mainly known for? They're known for their convenience. They're known for delivery in less than 30 minutes, or it's free. So Domino's wasn't necessarily the pizza where you go, oh, I want great gourmet pizza tonight. Let's get Domino's. No, it was the pizza where it was the last resort when nothing else was open. Okay. So they took a very bold move, and they came on and said, our pizza sucks. That's what they did. They said, our recipe is terrible, and we've been hearing you complain. So we are announcing that we are scrapping that recipe, and we are going to do a new recipe, right? And do you know that their profit share went up by 60 times? Because they came out and said, we're going to do it a different way. So you can have a creative spin on what you're doing in so many ways. Like, you've got to be willing to be bold. Okay? Find new ways to market creatively. Now, let me give you another example. So I am a certified women business owner. Okay? Now, a certified women business owner, it's a whole process to become a certified business owner. This is if you are a minority business owner, which women fall into that category. And I got my business certified. So I've been part of WeBank for many years now, and I've built some incredible relationships and love this organization. And so they are fantastic clients of ours. We have many of the WeBank members are also clients of ours. And so I thought, how do I get more in front of our ideal audience? And now I want you to replicate this based on your own business, but I'm just giving you an example. So I realized that WeBank did not have their own podcast. So I contacted them. I worked my way through, because it's a pretty big organization. And I said, can I host and produce your podcast? It will be the WeBank podcast, but I'm going to be the host and the producer. And they said yes. And so we are now putting this whole thing together, and I'm so excited to be a big support to WeBank and to help them produce this show. And I'm also getting visibility in front of their entire organization, who is our ideal target market. You see, and this is no marketing dollar. Now, obviously, we have to produce the show. We're working with them and all of that. And so it takes some time. But, you know, like, that's better than money can buy. So it really is about guerrilla marketing, using your creativity to get in front of the right people. Does that make sense? And so it is critical right now that you don't get caught up in fear, because your fear paralyzes your creativity. And we want to have you be thinking outside of the box right now. The other thing is that if you can, to set up capital, extra capital. And I know some of you as business owners are like, oh, I don't want to have debt. I don't want to, I don't want to borrow any money. I will tell you, in business, you need to be bold with investing. Okay. Now, I don't mean going out on a shopping spree and spending on things that you don't get an ROI on. This is not what I'm talking about. But you need to prepare yourself and have some capital behind your business, so that if you need to draw on a credit line or draw on business credit cards, because those things, having that extra cash is going to give you the leg up to do other things that you need to do to take your business to the next level. There is a difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt grows revenue. Am I making sense? So if I'm making sense, if you guys get that, please put that into the chat. Other reasons why a down economy can be an advantage. There are more billionaires, as I said, made in a down economy, because they take advantage of, not of people, but of situations that are going on. So you can negotiate leases. You can negotiate salaries. Okay, you can get better deals with your vendors, suppliers. You can go back to your credit card companies and negotiate lower interest. We just had someone in Pinnacle share that they got their credit card down to 0% interest. You can negotiate with hotels, and I think there's going to be a lot of that going on here with venues. And when things are great and the economy is flourishing, it's easy to grow your business there, but there's not really room to negotiate. But I will tell you, the biggest success stories are those when people's back are against the wall and you come out fighting and you say, there's no other options. I'm going to make this happen. I cannot encourage you enough. I was a single mom for 12 years. I had no money. And I had so many people telling me that what I wanted to do was never going to work. I had everything against me. And if I had listened to that, I would not be here today. So take that fear and turn it inside out and use it as fuel to push you forward right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So I got on a little rant there, but I'm just so passionate about this. This is a great time. Pretty soon here, you're going to have an opportunity to buy businesses. There are people that are going to want to sell their business, and you'll be able to get a business, and many times with no money down, right? Buying an entire new database and audience, right? So there's a lot of opportunity here. Ask for larger deposits, do shorter terms, discounts for pay in full. You just want to make sure that when you're out there doing business, that you are really getting commitments from your customers. Okay. All right. Like I said, you cannot get sucked into other people's story. Be careful who you're surrounding yourself, even virtually, with right now, because all of that negativity can seep into your brain. Because otherwise, what happens is that you become codependent on the story of the day. And what I mean by that is your happiness, your joy is going to depend on the story that you're being fed. So you really have to take your mind, pretend it's a machine. It is an extremely powerful machine that you turn off certain, airwaves that are coming in, and you protect it like you have a red carpet around your brain, and you don't let anything in that is not serving you, so that you can serve others, so that you can serve the world. That's your story. That's your story. And when you get into the place of feeling down or discouraged, because there's going to be some challenges that come up, it is so important that you surround yourself, of course, with so much positive energy and people like the people that are on here today that are going to lift you up. You need to tap into your why, the reason that you're doing this business in the first place. You have to get to that 30,000 foot view. Okay. Because when we're in the minutia of it, we can be, oh my God, they just put out this new requirement, this new law, this got shut down, like you're in the thick of it. You need to be up here. You need to be in the 30,000 foot view, so you aren't getting caught up in all of this all this energy that's going on, right? And you need to share your positive vision with everyone, where you're taking the business, how you're helping people, where you're going to be a year from now, right? What you're creating in the world. Your dreams are still happening. It's still moving. You may not see it right now, but you need to keep putting that energetic intention out there and share your vision over and over again. Okay. But remember, what got you here is not going to get you there. What got you here is not going to get you to this next level. We've got to pivot. The things that got you started, it got you to a certain place, but that's not what's going to take you to the next level. And you have to be willing to let go of that. And that, I think, is probably one of the biggest challenges. First, you got to stop getting sucked into every crisis and being the firefighter of putting out fires, because that sucks your creative energy and you're not going to be moving forward. You also have to get out of habit. The habit of fear, the habit of the old story, the habit of trying to do everything and being the control freak, the habit of the fear of picking up the phone and reaching out to people to do business. Whatever the habit is for you, that habit isn't going to serve you anymore. You've got to create new, powerful habits. It's like everybody working from home right now, right? Could be habits of continuing to go to the refrigerator, and that's not going to serve you. Okay. So it impacts you all around. And you've got to show up as a leader for yourself and your team, and you tap into their brilliance, their creativity and innovation. Some of you may not have employees, but there are people that are around you that you're working with, maybe freelancers. Others, you've got big teams. I've got a big team. My team is so smart. They're smarter than me. We were on a call yesterday, our whole team. We did our huddle that we do every week. And I said, okay, what can we do now? How can we add more for our customers? What can we do to put some things out into the community? And they all came up with brilliant ideas. Don't feel like it has to be all on you, right? Don't feel like it has to be all on you, because it doesn't. Lean on your team, okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. So Bonnie Lucas is, she is also a member of, she is a member of Pinnacle Global Network. And Bonnie was stuck for like, she'd been in the same place in her business almost 20 years. And she has a company where they hire off-duty police as security guards. And she said, Allison, I want to scale. They're in the Phoenix area. And so the thing with Bonnie was that she was micromanaging everything and everyone. She had some people that were on the team that had been with her for years, which is great, but they really were not putting the energy in or the passion in. So we helped turn her whole business around. In a very short period of time, she has grown by 5 million in revenue. So here's Bonnie again. And yeah, 5 million in 2.5 years. And she was stuck at the same place. So I tell you this because this is not a time to micromanage people. This is a time to work with your team and co-create. Okay, work together. Now I'm going to share some scale strategies, some more scale strategies. Stay with me. We still have probably another, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, but I still have so much to share. And some of the best things that I have to share are at the very end. Okay, so these are all things that you will be able to use right now to thrive in your business. Okay. So how's everybody doing? Put in the chat right now. Are these some things that are resonating with you? I would love to hear that. Since I can't see your face right now, that really helps me to stay connected to you. So tell me what is resonating with you right now. If you can put that in the chat, I would love that. So, all right. So one of the things you can do is get your customers to buy more. And obviously you're probably going, well, what? I know that, Allison. And I get that our customers are supposed to buy more often, but do you have upsells and cross sells? Do you have something when people work with you that they have another opportunity to buy and to create another product? This is the perfect time and the perfect opportunity to do this is to create other products, because you know why? Your current customers will spend 5 times as much as new customers because they love you, they trust you. So what are you going back to your customers? Look at what their needs are right now with everything that's going on, and can you quickly put together an offering for them? Okay, so I will give you an example of that. Is one of our clients, Christine Vartanian. She has a company called Jade for All Seasons, and she does personal styling. So if you are on here, Christine, just say hi. Anyway, Christine is part of our Pinnacle Global Network, and I've had the honor of working with Christine for, I think, 3 years now, going on 4. And so she, right now, with everything going on, she works with her clients virtually, which is amazing. So, and I said, hey, create a product where you're actually helping people organize their closets right now, because people are home. They have time to organize their closets, right? So create a special product around that. So this is what I mean is, what can you go back to your clients with right now and offer something that can really serve them? Okay. Right now it is about giving more value. It is about connecting with your clients or people that you haven't talked to in a while, past clients. Say, hey, I'm really thinking about you. How can I support you? Show them how you appreciate them. That is so important, right? So important. And when we get to the other side of this, which we will, they are going to appreciate you even that much more. Now, here's a few other scale strategies. Subscription services, like what I was talking with Kara Golden earlier, is monthly subscription. And so you can take your offering now, and I mean, you could create, a club. People are really wanting to connect right now. You can create, doesn't matter what businesses that it is. We've helped in our Pinnacle Global Network, we've helped a lot of people create amazing subscription programs. So whether it's for a construction company to do a subscription program, to train and training for their cold storage contractors, to staffing companies that do a subscription program to keep people up to the latest credentialing and what is happening in the HR world. Like, you can create a subscription program around anything. I mean, how many of you are paying a bunch of subscription programs right now, right? Like, you join them a year ago or 2 years ago, you forget that it's even running, but it's about convenience and ease. And so they don't have to think every month, oh, I've got to reorder that thing. You're making it easy for them. And so, for instance, Catherine Sullivan runs a company called Marketing Solved. And she also has a really cool software called Tassie, and it is a subscription to help people with their social media. But Catherine Sullivan came to my event, and we showed her specifically how to package her marketing projects. And within the first couple months, she brought in another $120,000, was able to retire her husband from his 6-figure job. They moved to Southern California, and now they've launched this software company together. And so it wasn't that they necessarily changed what they were doing. They changed the way they were packaging things and making it easier for people to receive them. So, I share these stories with you because when you get into this place of survival and scarcity, you forget that there is abundance and opportunity. There is tons of opportunity. Certification programs. You can take the time right now and create a certification program around what you do. One of our clients, Lisa Thomas, has a company called Beyond Cellular Healing, and she helps people to clear out all of their emotional baggage and fear and all that lovely stuff. And she was booked solid. She didn't have time to take on new customers. We said, create a certification program so you can train other people to do what you do, so that then you can help a lot more people. So she did this and brought in over $100,000 within a few months of extra income. All right. There are so many ways that you all can get creative. And in the big picture, when you are doing this, you are increasing the valuation of your company. And why is that important? Because your business is your future for yourself, your children, right? Well beyond what's going on now and for years to come. So when you put these things in place now, you're increasing what you can sell your business for by 3, 5, 10, and even more. Okay? Really powerful. Okay, so I get that it is really hard to see what is going on, to understand the possibilities, the opportunities when you are stuck in the box. All right. When you are stuck and you're just sitting at your computer and you're working in your business and you're stuck in your to-dos, you don't see the $1 million or even $1,000, $100,000, $10 million opportunity around you. But when you have other people around you that are able to go, hey, did you see that you could do this? Right? Did you realize there's an opportunity to do this? Like we just had our, for Pinnacle Global Network, we all just got together and we did, they're like huddles, and where the CEOs get in very small groups, like an advisory board, for the business owners to come up with amazing opportunities. They were so excited in the midst of all the changes that are going on. They're so excited because they see how they can pivot and make so much more money than they were even doing before. The biggest enemy to a company during a recession is inaction. And the biggest sabotage is fear. It is a mind killer, right? You all were made to shine. You were made to shine. Step into that. Step into that leadership. But you've got to get root guidance. You've got to get support, right? Let me just see something here. All right. I had a little goof up here. So you've got to get support. So let me share, sorry about flipping the slides here. As you all can see, I am really, technology is not my thing. But I know business, and that's what I'm going to help you with. So anyway, thanks for all your patience today, and I hope you all are enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun. So getting the support for your business is like getting on the toll road. And when you're on the toll road, you get to go exactly where you want to go with the least amount of interference. You get to take the fast track. Do you get that? And having the support for your business is like taking the fast track, right? It is critical right now that you're not going the regular road. Yeah, you might get to where you want to go 2 years later, 3 years later, 5 years later, but right now, time is of the essence. So Kristen Donovan, she came to my Scale event. And when she came, she was like, you know, she was a little skeptical. She's like, I don't even know what this event is about. And she told me later on that she thought she knew everything about her business then. And she said, she thought the answer to making more money was just working harder. And she thought vacations were for lazy people. Okay. And so as she was sitting at the event, her mind started to shift. And she started to see, oh my God, I don't have to work this hard. Like, look at all the steps that I can take to scale my business and take myself out of the day-to-day. So in a short time, she doubled her revenue. She just signed another $750,000 contract. All right. So Kristen is in our Pinnacle Global Network. But here's the cool thing. Okay. This is a woman that never took vacations. She took 14 vacations last year. 14. Literally hadn't taken them in years. And she texted me when she was on a safari in Africa and with these giraffes. And she said, thank you for everything, Allison. I couldn't be where I am, both literally and figuratively, without you and your team. And this, she says, this is where I was. I'm in Tanzania on a safari. I'm going to be in Rwanda to see the gorillas. But the cool part of her text, her message, is that while she's doing this, her team's got it handled. And she's made more money than she's ever has in her business. A lot of times we feel like, oh, to do that, I have to have a lot of money to be able to hire a team. And, that's for other people, not me. It's not true. It is absolutely not true. Because if you know how to hire and you know how to lead and you do it right, every time you bring somebody on, it actually takes your business to a whole other level financially. So basically, when you are bringing on your team, they pay for themselves and you get yourself out of the way, because a successful business is one that thrives without you being there. So I'm going to share something with you right now. And I'm so excited about this because we pivoted and we pulled this together for you. This is something that I have not shared with an opportunity for anyone to have this before, except for our high-level members that pay tens of thousands of dollars in Pinnacle Global Network. So we've put something together for you because we wanted to just come out in service, support you all, and give you what you need so that you can quickly pivot right now. So we have created the Pivot and Scale Online Bootcamp. Now, for those of you, I still have some amazing strategies I'm going to share with you at the end of this. So definitely do not go anywhere. All right. And you're going to want to hear what I have to offer because it's going to blow your mind. And then I've got some more strategies at the end that I want to share with you. So stay with me. All right. So the Pivot and Scale Online Blueprint. Boot camp. At the end of this, you are going to have a roadmap to be strategic as a CEO so that you can pivot and exponentially scale your company in any economy. So it's not just for what's happening now, but we have to be prepared when challenges come our way. I mean, this is life, right? Life is lifey. And so things are going to happen and you have to be able to pivot. All right. So this is the first time that I'm opening this up in an entire decade. All right. So this is a 30-day program because it is going to get you through the window of what is going on right now and shift your business from challenges to multiplying your profits. So tell me in the chat if you are interested to know how you can multiply your profits and your happiness. All right. So there are 3 things that we are going to be covering that is critical in this boot camp. All right. We are going to be showing you now, this is all virtual. Okay. We make this so easy for you. So you're going to learn in the first training, which I'm going to be delivering to you. So we've been kind of touching on points, but on these trainings, I'm going to do a deep dive and give you this step by step. So how to pivot and scale and take massive leaps, how to inject cash into your business right now to capitalize on the hidden opportunities and create multiple revenue streams. The second training is how to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. And that is critical now and always, because things happen in business, right? You can lose your biggest client, or maybe one of your employees quits, or you lose a lease. All kinds of things can happen, even in a good economy. You have to be able to have the mindset to pivot, right? And to go towards the opportunity. So you also need to know how to lead and empower your team through adversity to tap into their brilliance. So my team, thank goodness, is helping me right now get the technology glitches that we were having going on, right? I know that I can count on them. And so it's really critical now that you show up as a leader. And it's also critical right now to know how to take the opportunities and bring on team members and use this time to help to train your team. There's so much that you can do right now so that when we get on the other side of this, that you are going to be flourishing now and beyond. Okay. So I'm going to keep going into everything that's on here, but in the meantime, you can actually grab this right now at pivotandscaletoday.com. The link is right here on the slide, and there's also a button. There should be a button on the page, and my team also put it into the chat. So pivotandscaletoday.com. All right, so that is training number 3. You're going to walk away with 3 value-packed online trainings and 2 direct Q&A, direct access Q&A calls. Okay, so just this part alone is worth almost $3,000, and we have a ton more I'm going to give you. So stay with me. We have just been, my team and I were like, okay, how can we just give more and more and more? We don't normally do this. This is just within Pinnacle, okay? So let me break down what is going to happen on these trainings. The first training, get your pivot and scale to create massive business leaps. This is happening on April 2nd at noon Pacific and 3 Eastern. But do not worry, we are recording everything, all right? So in that training, you're gonna create pivots for new revenue streams for your company. We're gonna find hidden sales in your company right now. I promise you, there are holes right now in your business that you can create cash flow. I'm gonna share 17 scale strategies for you to replicate your offering so that you can multiply well beyond you. And this is critical, not only now, but beyond a down economy. This is how businesses really soar and grow by millions and millions of dollars, okay? You have to find your scale strategy. Again, it's not working harder, it's working smarter. It's how to leverage a down economy. Where can you negotiate? How do you negotiate? That alone, just from that little part, will help you create more revenue than what this is going to cost you. Guerrilla sales and marketing strategies, like the one that I showed you with the podcast that I created for WeBank. Cash injection strategies. There is plenty of cash out there. How do we create that cash flow? That's just training number 1, all right? Now, right after that, the very next day, I'm going to do a direct access Q&A call where you get to ask all the questions that you want. You will get answered directly. And these are going to be on Zoom. And so that you're not only going to learn from the questions that you ask me, but from the other questions that people are going to ask too. Super, super powerful. We're doing that right the very next day. Then training number 2, the next week, make over your mindset and break your revenue limits. So training number 2 is make over your mindset and break your revenue limits. This is all about mindset. And this is on April 9th at noon, Pacific, 3 Eastern. We will be recording this, so you can listen at any time. And you're going to learn how to flip switch from anxiety and struggle to creativity and prosperity. You're going to be able to shift out of worry and learn to be a solutionist. I mean, I was just telling one of my colleagues in New York, this is where I thrive. This is where I get just pumped up because I'm like, ooh, this is where I get to get creative. So how do you shift out of that worry into excitement? How do you delete the limiting stories that are holding you back? And how do you break through that ceiling so that you can take the big leaps, right? If Kendra Scott had let the bankruptcy from before in her hat store stop her, or if she said, I don't have the money to do this, you know, to open up that store when everyone else was closing, she wouldn't have the billion-dollar company right now. And I'm going to show you how to activate your brain power to elevate innovation, profits, and joy. And we're going to go over specific strategies for you. Okay. Training number 3 is I'm going to show you how to hire, the steps to hire in any economy, on any budget, how to lead your team, how to inspire your team, how to unleash the full potential of your team, tapping into their creativity and your brilliance. It doesn't have to be all on your shoulders, people. When you get people behind your vision, they want to help you move this forward. That's a belief system that it has to be on you. You don't have to be the rainmaker. You don't have to be the everything maker, right? So let me help you to build this power team. All you got to do is go to pivotandscaletoday.com, pivotandscaletoday.com, and pivot is P-I-V-O-T, people, and all one word, and scale, pivotandscaletoday.com. Then we're going to do another direct access Q&A call after that, right? Where you're going to be able to ask direct questions of me, and also you're going to learn so much from everyone. Right now, we need connection. You need connection. You need community. Don't try to maneuver through this alone. Now, the first 50 people that sign up are also going to get into our Pivot and Scale CEO Facebook group for free. After that, it's going to be $97 a month. All right. And in this group, we're going to be helping you with, just some uplifting strategies and connecting you through this boot camp. And you're going to make some amazing connections in there. So the Facebook group is going to be an added community support. So you definitely don't want to miss the opportunity, because after that, we're going to be, we won't be able to do it for free after the 50, just because we've got to have a lot of support to manage that. Now, remember, we are recording everything, even the Q&A. And even if you're not asking direct questions, you're going to learn so much from how I spot coach people in the moment. All right. And I am so excited to support you. So excited. So we have some amazing bonuses. So let me keep going here and stay with me, because I've got more strategy at the end of this that I want to share with you. And I really encourage you to share this. Share this with the business owners that you know, that you care about. They need this right now. Don't let them just sit there and spin out and struggle. There is absolutely no need for that whatsoever. Okay? So, 4 very valuable bonuses. Bonus number 1 is that through everything that I'm teaching you on this training, you're going to get several of our worksheets and charts that I've developed, because I give you the exact step-by-step. This isn't theory. This is a roadmap. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And just to give you an example, these are the kind of worksheets that I use. Right? So we have all marketing strategies, how to have the sales conversations, how to create the vision, the products that you need to come up with. All of that is going to be part of this incredible training at pivotandscaletoday.com. Now, bonus number 2 is we're going to be sending you several trainings, videos, audio. This is bonus of some trainings that we have that is normally only accessed on our Pinnacle library. So we have, these are some of the trainings you're going to get on audio, and you're going to get these right away when you join the Pivot and Scale Bootcamp. All right. So it's pivotandscaletoday.com. You're going to get an audio on how to build joint venture relationships. Right now, doing joint ventures with other business owners, oh my gosh, so much money to be made there. We're going to show you how to increase your sales conversions. We've got audio trainings on how to close sales. This is for you and your team. I'm going to give you a training from Jason Fladlian, who is the like $100 million webinar guy, and he is going to show you step by step how you can do your own webinars and sell your products and services. I'm going to show you how to build a referral-based business with Joe Stump, who is the CEO of Buy Referral Only. I'm going to give you a video training on that. You're going to see the entire video from Kara Golden giving the steps of how she scaled her $100 million company, Hintwater. I'm going to give you a training on how to turn video texting, how to use your phone to video text, right? And to reach your customers. This is a perfect way to do this now, is using video texting. I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do an interview with, I'm going to share an interview with Vishen Lakhiani. Vishen spoke at my event. And Vishen is the founder of Mind Valley, and he has the most amazing company culture. So he's going to share how he built it, and it's super practical, super actionable. I'm going to give you the interview and the talk from Kendra Scott, how she scaled her $1 billion company, and Jan Arnold, who is the founder of, she is the one that created for the nails, shellac. And she sold it for $600 million, okay? She had no idea how to run a business before at all. And she was able to figure this out. You will learn so much. Just from this alone is the value of what the cost is for this. Now I have 2 more bonuses. This is like we're making this a no-brainer for you because we really just want to support you. And this is the moment right now where you can look and say, oh my gosh, that's the moment that my life changed. When I made that decision to get the support I need right now, because I don't want to sit here and spin out. And I don't care what level that you're at, if you're the earlier stages or you have, $100 million company, this is for you, right? Because you have to think strategically right now. So our bonus 3 is a private mentoring session with one of our top CEOs from Pinnacle Global Network, a live call where they're going to dive into your business. This is a strategic call to help you get out of overwhelm and really find the gaps and help you pivot. Direct access, all right? Our CEOs do not normally do this. They only do this for our clients, okay? For our high level mastermind, okay? So they're gonna help you create that plan live. And we will do this based on your schedule. Now, one that I am so excited about, bonus number 4, like it just keeps going and going and going, is our scale event. And let me tell you, on the other side of this whole thing, we're going to have such a desire for connection. It's going to be crazy. Like everybody's going to be craving connection. And so scale, it's our 5th year. It's August 20th to the 22nd. So many months away. And it is at the Lowe's Coronado Resort. And you're going to spend 3 days with me. This is a $2,000 event. $2,000. This is a bonus for you when you invest today in the Pivot and Scale Bootcamp. We spend 3 days and you leave with a physical roadmap to scale your company. And some of the people I have on stage are like the ones the caliber that I bring on stage are the people that I have been talking about right now that have been up on stage. Kendra and Kara and Vishen, this is the level that I bring. But this is not an event with a bunch of breakout sessions. All right. This is an event where I'm taking you through my Scale It method. And at the end, you have a roadmap to scale your company. That is bonus number 4. Okay, crazy. You're going to leave with a plan to scale your company. You're going to be around other movers and shakers, right? That open doors for you. And you're going to really work my scale it method. You will not have the same company. This is how our clients double, triple, quadruple their business, make thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars more. Liz Papani sat next to someone at my scale event and signed a $250,000 contract. These are the kind of people that come to our scale retreat. All right. You get this as a bonus for joining the Pivot and Scale Bootcamp. So let me tell you though, we need to know you're coming. So we will give you, once you join in, we will give you a registration so that we know that you're showing up and that we're not holding an empty seat for you, because this event sells out and we already now, months ahead, are already half sold out because people are going to be dying to get together. And so we just need to know you're coming, but you're going to leave with the plan to scale, pivot and scale. It will change your life. So here's the thing. The 30-day Pivot and Scale Bootcamp with 3 packed trainings, then 2 Q&As. So 5 trainings over 30 days. You're going to get a lot of me. You're going to get the downloadable workshops that you can keep. You're going to have we're going to be sending you video and audio trainings, lots of super valuable. I mean, each one has action-packed strategies that you can apply right away. You're going to have the one-on-one mentoring session with one of my amazing CEOs. And you're also going to get a ticket to scale for $795. That's it. $795. And this will change your life, right? Or you can do, actually, this is a mistake. I see a typo. It's actually 2 payments of $472, not 3. That would be too expensive. So it's $795 or 2 payments of $472.50. Pivot and Scale today. It is normally $2,000 to go to scale. So it is like, we just want to help you guys out. We just want to help you guys out. So go to pivotandscaletoday.com. And the first 50 that join get to come into our Facebook group for free and connect with all the other amazing business owners. So here's my guarantee. If with 15 days, you are not 100% thrilled with this training, we will refund you 100%. Okay? 100% money back guarantee, because I am, so confident, because we've been doing this and helping tens of thousands of business owners over the last decade to grow and scale. And I'm super proud of that. Here's the thing. On average, our clients stay with us on average 4 years. And we have many that are with us now 8 years, even 9 years. So the things I'm sharing with you, we've seen them proven over and over again. It doesn't matter the industry. It doesn't matter the business model. It works. All right. It works. So for $795 to get you out of your own way and to get you at that next level, if it was me, I'd be doing that all day long. All right. So the world is changing and you've got to prepare yourself for sustainable growth. You've got to pivot right now. We want to help you bring cash in right now, but we also want to help you create a sustainable business. This is my mission. This is my mission, is to help you break through. This is why I do this work, why I'm so passionate. I don't need to do this anymore. I do this because I want to do it. And the cool thing is that with the creativity, you're going to be prepared for what's coming down the pipe so that you will have this flourishing business, so that you will have something that you can pass down to your children, or sell, whatever you want to do, and retire and go travel the world. All right. But you've got to be prepared to pivot and scale. When a market turns downward, this is the time to invest in yourself. Playing small keeps you small. Playing small keeps you small. Playing safe is not a business strategy. All right. And most really successful business owners started with nothing. But they were willing to say, I'm putting it out on the line. I'm going to do this. Okay. And I'm so excited to work with you all. I really am. So the other thing, this is really important, is that if you're capitalizing on opportunities right now, you're going to get ahead of your competitors because most likely they're not. So if you're getting creative and coming up with these new revenue streams and new ways to pivot, or supporting your team right now in a new way, creatively, when we get to the other side of this, which we will, probably sooner than you think, then you will be way ahead of your competition and of your industry. You guys got that? So this isn't just for now. This is building something that is flourishing and abundant for years to come. So I want to share a story with you. I got to meet Richard Branson last year, which was, I love what he does in the world. You know, he's all about giving back. I'm all about giving back. And so I had an opportunity to work with, to meet him. And I was the MC of the Traffic and Conversion conference last year, which is the biggest conference in North America, marketing conference, and right here in San Diego. And he was the keynote speaker. And so I got a chance in a private meeting to meet with him. And he asked me for my book, which was a real honor, Scale or Fail. And so when I was speaking with him, I said, Richard, you know, I always thought that I was a big thinker. But where do you go in your head when you think like that? Like you're on a whole other planet. Where do you go in your brain when you think like that? And Richard said, Allison, we only have so many days on this earth. So you might as well go right for the top. And in that moment, I thought, oh my gosh, I am thinking way too small. And I'm a pretty darn big thinker. Game on. Game on. Do not let your circumstances or the news or the story around you keep you small and hold you in fear. You are bigger than that. It is time to take action. It is time to be a leader, a game changer, a catalyst, a change maker, a visionary. That is who you are. Tap into that energy now. Tap into that creativity and let me help you to soar. This isn't, you don't have the luxury of time and thinking about things right now. This is the time to act. So for those of you that are ready to really catapult right now and to be that strategic CEO that I know you can be, then join me in the Pivot and Scale Bootcamp. PivotandScaleToday.com. Grab your place really quickly, and I cannot wait to support you. You see, scaling is about stepping into your greatness. Scaling means stepping into the higher version of who you are and who you are meant to be. And just think about all the people in the world right now that need you. They need you. And I believe in you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me today. And, you know, I'm just seeing if anybody has questions on here, I'm happy to answer. And I see we have a lot of people coming to joining us for this boot camp. I'm so excited. I'm so excited you all are joining us. So this offer is just for right now. The price is actually going to go up several thousands of dollars when we release this. And so we are not holding this price. We cannot, with everything that we're giving, we couldn't as a business continue to hold this price. We will be losing money. We can't do that. But I want to help you guys right now. And that's why we're doing this. So again, this is not a time to think. This is a time to act. And thank you. Thanks, Julianne and Melissa and Gil and Mike. It's so awesome, Susie, to see you guys on here today. And I hope that you have enjoyed this. And remember that you all were born for this. You were made for this. You're stronger than this. All right. Go to pivotandscaletoday.com so that we can work together. And I'm going to stop my share 1 second here so that I can just connect with you here. All right. I love you guys. I believe in you. Don't get caught up in the fear. This is a time for opportunity. This is a time for you to step up and lead. All right. So join me at pivotandscaletoday.com and we're going to get started right away. All right. Mwah. Bye, everybody.